Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students, and welcome. Dear students, in this lecture, we will study the remaining part of the phylum Porifera. So, dear students, as you know that in the previous lecture, we studied up to nutrition, and now we will explain the digestion, the mechanism of digestion. That you know that the digestive system in phylum Porifera is absent, but the mechanism is present, and they have both intercellular and intracellular digestion, which we will explain with the help of diagram. Now, dear students, you have already studied this structure in detail in the previous part of this lecture, and you know that the sponges are sessile and they depend on food coming along with water currents. So these are ostia through which the water enters into their body. तो इस वाटर के साथ फूड भी आ जाता है इनटू द स्पॉन्जोसील कैविटी. दिस ब्लू वन इज फूड, और ये जो रेड है दिस रिप्रेजेंट्स फ्लैजेला. सो द फूड एंटर्स द स्पॉन्जोसील कैविटी थ्रू द ऑस्टिया, राइट. जब फूड ऑस्टिया स्पॉन्जोसील में आ जाता है तो फिर क्या होता है, द बीटिंग ऑफ फ्लैजेला, ये जो रेड है ये फ्लैजेला है. So the beating of flagella breaks the zooplankton or the food into small pieces. तो ये flagella इस food को small pieces में break करता है. This digestion is called intercellular or extracellular digestion because it occurs outside the cell. तो यहाँ पे इस स्पॉन्जोसील कैविटी में जो डाइजेशन होता है तो इसको हम एक्स्ट्रासेलुलर या इंटरसेलुलर डाइजेशन कहते हैं, राइट. And this small food particles then enters the choanocytes. और ये जो food small food pieces है ये फिर इन flagellated cells choanocytes में enter हो जाता है. So we can say that the food enters the spongocoel cavity through ostia and the food is then ingested by flagellated cells, the choanocytes. Dear students, you have already studied this diagram as well in the previous lecture. So as we have studied that the beating of flagella breaks the food into small pieces which enters the choanocyte. तो आप देख रहे डायग्राम में देखें, फिर इस कोइनोसाइट, ये जो इनर लेयर का सेल है, फ्लैजिलेटेड सेल है, इसके अंदर क्या है, दिस इज फूड वैक्यूल. और फूड वैक्यूल के अंदर क्या होते हैं, एंजाइम्स होते हैं विच कंप्लीटली ब्रेक्स द फूड इनटू स्मॉलर पीसेस. And such digestion which occurs inside the cell is called intracellular digestion, यानी which takes place or occurs inside the cell. तो आप देख रहे हैं कि इनमें डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम नहीं है, लेकिन इनमें इंटरसेलुलर डाइजेशन भी होता है या एक्स्ट्रासेलुलर डाइजेशन भी होता है इन द स्पॉन्जोसील कैविटी. और फिर यहाँ पे कोइनोसाइट्स इन सेल्स के अंदर फूड वैक्यूल के अंदर जो एंजाइमेटिक डाइजेशन होता है सेल के अंदर, सच डाइजेशन इज कॉल्ड इंट्रासेलुलर डाइजेशन. सो दिस इज हाउ द डाइजेशन occurs in sponges or animals of phylum Porifera. Now that coming into the 10th characteristic, absorption of food. So the absorption of food occurs through diffusion, यानी पैरागैस्ट्रिक या स्पॉन्जोसील कैविटी में जो डाइजेशन हो जाता है फूड का, तो वहाँ पे उसकी कंसंट्रेशन क्या होती है, ज़्यादा हो जाती है, और वो थ्रू डिफ्यूजन एंटर हो जाता है इनटू द कोइनोसाइट्स और फिर कोइनोसाइट्स से पिनाकोसाइट्स में थ्रू डिफ्यूजन. एजेशन, द नेक्स्ट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक इज एजेशन. व्हाट इज एजेशन? डियर स्टूडेंट्स, टू टर्म्स है, वन इज एजेशन एंड द अदर इज एक्सक्रीशन. There is a difference between egestion and excretion. What is egestion? The removal of undigested food is called egestion, while the removal of nitrogenous wastes is called excretion. So this is the difference between egestion and excretion. So as you know that not complete digestion is possible. पूरा food completely digestion तो possible नहीं है. So the undigested food is removed through the main opening or terminal pore called osculum. So dear students, look into this structure, how the digestion takes place. जो अनडाइजेस्टेड फूड होता है वो स्पॉन्जोसील कैविटी या पैरागैस्ट्रिक कैविटी से किस तरह आउट होता है। ये स्पॉन्ज जो है ये इस तरह क्या होता है, कंट्रैक्ट होता है, और जो अनडाइजेस्टेड फूड होता है वो इस ऑस्कुलम टर्मिनल पोर या मेन ओपनिंग के थ्रू क्या होता है, आउट हो जाता है। नाउ मूविंग इनटू द नेक्स्ट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक, दैट इज सर्कुलेशन सिस्टम एब्सेंट। द मैकेनिज्म मतलब इनमें सर्कुलेटरी सिस्टम एब्सेंट है, नहीं है, बट मैकेनिज्म इज प्रेजेंट। और सर्कुलेशन के लिए जो मैकेनिज्म है दैट इज डिफ्यूजन, विच मीन्स दैट द न्यूट्रिएंट्स आर ट्रांसपोर्टेड फ्रॉम वन पार्ट टू द अदर बाय मीन्स ऑफ diffusion, or the food is circulated through diffusion. How? We will explain it with the help of diagram. Now dear students, again look into this diagram. यहाँ पे कोइनोसाइट में जो इंट्रासेलुलर डाइजेशन होता है, तो लेट सपोज यहाँ पे न्यूट्रिएंट्स है, ग्लूकोज है, अमीनो एसिड्स है, फैटी एसिड्स है, सो यहाँ पे इसकी कंसंट्रेशन ज़्यादा होती है। सो दीज न्यूट्रिएंट्स आर ट्रांसपोर्टेड फ्रॉम कोइनोसाइट टू द पिनाकोसाइट बाय मीन्स ऑफ डिफ्यूजन। कोइनोसाइट में इसकी कंसंट्रेशन ज़्यादा होती है, पिनाकोसाइट में लो होती है। सो द न्यूट्रिएंट्स मूव फ्रॉम एन एरिया ऑफ हाई कंसंट्रेशन टू लो कंसंट्रेशन विच इज़ कॉल्ड डिफ्यूजन। सो न्यूट्रिएंट्स आर ट्रांसपोर्टेड फ्रॉम वन पार्ट टू अनदर पार्ट बाय मीन्स ऑफ डिफ्यूजन। तो सर्कुलेटरी सिस्टम एब्सेंट है, लेकिन द मैकेनिज्म फॉर सर्कुलेशन इज डिफ्यूजन। लुक इनटू दिस, these arrows actually shows the circulation which occurs by means of diffusion. Next characteristic is respiration. Respiratory system absent, respiratory system नहीं है, लेकिन mechanism is diffusion. जो respiration होता है, जो exchange of gases होता है, that is by means of diffusion. How? Now dear students, again look into this structure or diagram. This is cell. Cell के अंदर, inside the cell, the concentration of oxygen is low, और चूंकि सेल के अंदर का respiration होता है, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड is formed, so the concentration of carbon dioxide is higher. So the oxygen from the outer environment diffuses into their body by means of diffusion, while the carbon dioxide diffuses out from their body. Oxygen in, carbon dioxide out by means of simple diffusion. So respiration system absent, respiratory system is absent, but respiration or exchange of gases occurs by means of diffusion, right? Next characteristic is excretion. What is excretion? The removal of nitrogenous waste such as ammonia, urea, etc. is called excretion. Ammonia, urea, uric acid is called excretion. So the excretory system is absent, while the mechanism for excretion is that excretion occurs through general body surface by diffusion. So again look into this diagram कि इनके बॉडी में मेटाबॉलिज्म के दौरान जो एक्सक्रीटरी प्रोडक्ट्स बनते हैं, वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट्स सच एज एमोनिया बनता है, सो इट सिंपली मूव्स आउट बाय डिफ्यूजन. So we can say that the waste products diffuse out of the spongy directly through the body wall, right? Next characteristic is reproduction. In sponges, both asexual and sexual reproduction occur. Asexual means A means without, sexual means gender, means asexual reproduction means the production of one or more offsprings without involving the fusion of male and female gametes, right? While sexual reproduction, you know, it involves the fusion of male and female gametes. It involves two parents, the male and female. So first we will study asexual reproduction. In sponges, the asexual reproduction occurs by means of budding, and budding is of two types, internal budding and external budding. We will explain both these types. So first we will study external budding. You know what is meant by bud? Bud means an outgrowth, right? So look into this diagram. This is the pinacocyte, the outer flattened cell, right? So on pinacocyte, a bud and outgrowth is produced, and pinacocytes provide oxygen nutrients to the bud. इस पिनाकोसाइट पे बाहर की तरफ एक आउटग्रोथ, एक बड प्रोड्यूस हो जाता है और इसको न्यूट्रिएंट्स मिलते हैं. ये बड क्या होता है, ये इंक्रीज होता है साइज में. दिस इज बड आउटग्रोथ, एंड देन द बड डिटेच्ड फ्रॉम इट्स body wall and mitotically divide. So then under favorable conditions it grow and mature and grow into new spongy. So once again, on pinacocyte, this is pinacocyte, a bud is produced, the bud increase in size, then the bud is detached and mitotically divide, becomes stalked and sessile, attached with rock, and then under favorable condition grow and mature into new spongy, into new organism or animal. So this is how the sponges reproduce by asexually by external budding. Now internal budding occurs by means of amoebocytes, which are amoeba like cells present in the mesoglea between the outer and inner layer. So the amoebocyte increases in size. ये जो amoebocyte है, amoeba like cell है, it increases in size to form internal bud or gimule. जो internal bud है, which is also called gimule. This is amoebocyte. It increases in size and forms internal bud or gimule. So the gimule then move into the paragastric cavity or spongiocele, and from the spongiocele or paragastric cavity move outside through the osculum, जो टर्मिनल पर होता है या मेन ओपनिंग होता है उसके थ्रू बाहर जाता है, becomes sessile, attached with rock and grow into new spongy. So this is how internal budding occurs in sponges. Now sexual reproduction also occurs with the help of amoebocytes. The amoebocytes grow and become sperm or egg. ये amoebocytes grow करते हैं, उनसे sperm भी बनते हैं और egg भी बनते हैं. Let's suppose this is one spongy, this is another spongy. यहाँ पे amoebocytes grow and form sperm formed by amoebocyte. ये sperm क्या होता है? So the sperm are released in water and are carried to the eggs, right? ये sperm वाटर में रिलीज होते हैं और यहाँ पे eggs में आ जाते हैं, eggs के साथ फ्यूज होते हैं. So fertilization अगर in mesenchyme और mesoglea, और जो mesoglea होता है, mesenchyme होता है, वहाँ पे fertilization हो जाती है. So fertilization occurs in mesenchyme or mesoglea and zygote is formed, and the zygote then develops into embryo and a new spongy. So this is how the sponges reproduce sexually. Now the 16th characteristic, that is sensation. So in sponges the nervous system is absent, but simple neurons are present which carry out coordination. For example, this is pinacocyte, the cell of the outer layer. This is choanocyte, the flagellated cell of the inner layer. So simple neurons, this red one is simple neuron. Nervous system is absent, but these simple neurons carry out coordination, carrying messages, impulses from one cell or from one part of the body into another. Now dear students, coming into the next characteristic, that is skeleton. So the skeletal system is absent, but the support is provided by spicules and spongin fibers. What is spongin fiber? Spongin fiber, it is a fibrous protein, and the spicules may be calcareous, made up of calcium, or siliceous, made up of silica. We have already studied it earlier in detail. So the spicules and spongin fibers act as endoskeleton of the sponges and provide support and protection, and these spicules may be calcareous or siliceous, made up of calcium or silica, and the spongin fibers, it is a fibrous protein, right? Now, dear students, switching into the next and last characteristic of sponges, that is regeneration. What is regeneration? So, the formation of lost part of the body of an organism is called regeneration. So, sponges have a remarkable regeneration power, that is, they can reproduce lost part of their body. So, remarkable regeneration means that is they have greater regeneration power. That is, they have greater regeneration power. For example, if octopus is a predator of sponges. ये इनका एक क्या है, predator है. This is octopus. If octopus eat some part of their body, ये इनके इस बॉडी पार्ट को क्या करता है, कहा जाता है, ये इसके साथ नहीं, ये लॉस्ट हो जाता है. So they have greater regeneration power. They will, it means they are able to form this lost part of the body again. So they have remarkable regeneration, greater regeneration power. Now, dear students, some members of the phylum Porifera or sponges are Cycone, Leucosolinia, Spongilla, etc. The Spongilla, it lives in fresh water. All other members are marine, means they live in high salt concentration water in seas and oceans. So this is also important for MCQ, that Spongilla is a freshwater sponge. It lives in fresh water while all other members are marine. Now, dear students, in the last we will also study importance of phylum Porifera or sponges. The first importance is that the sponges are used for washing purposes, mostly in old or ancient times, क्योंकि इनका स्पॉन्ज की तरह होता है. So due to their spongy nature, they are used for washing purposes. Number second, as the spongy, as it absorbs sound due to spongy nature, so they are used for soundproofing, and that is for sound absorption. So we can say that sponges are used for sound absorbing in buildings. स्पेशली पुराने ज़माने में जो महल्लात होते थे वहाँ पे ये मौजूद होते थे, लगे होते थे फॉर साउंड एब्जॉर्प्शन. नंबर थर्ड, they are used in surgery for cleanliness, that is bleeding. In other words, the sponges are used in surgical operations for absorbing fluids and blood. Number four, the spongine fibers, they are used in packing material, right? And fifth and last, the spicules. Their spicules are colorful and used as ornaments due to its good look. So dear students, with this we have concluded the first invertebrate phylum, that is phylum Porifera, and we have studied it in detail. Thank you.